Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your friendly neighborhood Coach Pruitt here with you once again with our daily YouTube video. This video is for class on the 14th and 15th, that is Wednesday and Thursday of April 2021. You can see on the screen here that I have for you guys your daily information, essential question, schedule for today, a couple of important announcements that we need to discuss and go over as well. So, if you guys remember last time that we were together, Monday and Tuesday, we finished up unit number 6. We talked about the Great Depression. We went through Standard 17, and we talked about the causes of the Great Depression, what happened, why it happened, and some of the effects of that depression on the U.S., specifically the economy, but socially as well, politically, even with Herbert Hoover and his being blamed for the depression and the lack of response from the government. So our essential question for today is, how is the government's response to the Great Depression different under Roosevelt? That is, of course, FDR, Franklin Roosevelt. So you can see on the schedule there that we need to explain and show you guys the EOC review materials, look at the updated resources page, and then we're going to begin our EOC review while simultaneously beginning standard number 18. Before we get into all of that, here's a couple of announcements. The number one thing that I want you guys to remember and know, you can see the highlighted section there, Unit number 6 Taskwork, which is the last taskwork of the school year. The last time you guys have to turn in taskwork this year, this is it, unless you have makeup work. But that's going to be due by this Friday, the 16th of April, by midnight. Now, we have done all of the assignments in class with the exception of the key terms, and we've given you guys multiple times at the end of class, the last 10-15 minutes. We've had 2 full-out work days where you could have done your key terms. They should be good to go. Unit number 6 should be good to go. You guys can turn it in anytime that you're ready. Again, remember, you can send an email, remind message through Canvas. There will be a separate video that I record tomorrow, which I will post for you guys, that will go over each of the taskwork assignments. So that was our first announcement. Announcement number 2, the U.S. History EOC is scheduled for us to be May the 10th through the 14th. That is still 4 weeks away. So we still have a while. We've still not got information back regarding the EOC and some of the questions that Mr. Burrows and I had. We have a faculty meeting today. I'm hoping to hear some information today. I'm recording the video on Tuesday, so I may, by the time we see you guys Wednesday in class, have more information about the EOC. There's a lot of stuff going on with it, guys. There's a lot of questions about the EOC and what's going on with it and how we're exactly going to carry it out with virtual learning. Again, hopefully some of our questions will be answered. When we know enough to actually give you guys good, solid information, we'll share that information with you. Okay? Now, let's talk about what we're going to do for the remainder of the school year. Now, like I just told you, there is no more task work. Now, that doesn't mean there's not grades. We're still going to give you guys a couple of daily grades as we go through the units, the remaining information in class, our EOC review, and the rest of the post-EOC year. We are also going to assess you guys a couple of times using this EOC review and the review materials. So what we want to look at first is, what is the EOC review materials? Because we're going to use them basically every day in class from now until the end of the year. So we need to go to our Canvas page, and I have put my Canvas page into a student view so that it looks exactly like it would look on your screen. I should have been doing this all year. Don't know why I didn't think about it. Sorry I thought about it so late. But let's look at this. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want to go to the Assignments tab. Clicking on the Assignments tab, the very top assignment right here says EOC Review Materials 2021. When we click on that link, of course it's locked for you guys, so I can't look at it. Okay, my bad. Let's try this again. Let's try it now that I have gotten out of the student view. Sorry, I thought it would be helpful to put it in student view, but I forgot that the assignment's not open until tomorrow. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Okay, so this is exactly what you guys will see on your end. So it is that time of year again. It's time for the EOC review. We have 3 things that we're going to be using from now until the end of the year. The first is the EOC review. The second are some practice questions. And the third are EOC review key terms. Periodically throughout our last 6-7 weeks of school, we will assess you guys a couple of different times daily. We'll have different things that we'll be doing. We'll be sure to tell you at the beginning of class, hey guys, we're going to assess you, we're going to give you a daily grade for doing this today, or whatever. We'll also take up your EOC review materials towards the end of the year and give you guys maybe a quiz grade, maybe a test grade. We haven't quite decided yet. Now obviously you can download all of these to your computer. You can also click on them and you can see these on your computer. Okay, I would recommend that you download to your computer the EOC review and also the practice questions. Okay, I'm going to pull these up. Well, I can pull them up on my screen now. Okay, so the EOC review basically goes through and it breaks down each of our standards. And when we break down each of our standards, it's got some information that it wants you to record about each of these important things. Some of them are key terms, some of them are important events, things that are essential to the standard. Now, unfortunately, I haven't taught U.S. history since they updated the standards. Some of these are a little outdated, and so I will be telling you guys, for instance, we don't need to remember the French in Quebec. We can get rid of that. We can cross it off. We can not fill it in. We do need to know things like Pennsylvania and the significance of Pennsylvania from Standard Number 1, Rhode Island and its significance from Standard 1, the House of Burgess, etc. So what we will be doing is using this EOC review for about the next 3 or 4 weeks. Now we are going to actually start way back here on page number 5 with standard number 18. So when we start talking about standard 18 in class, as we discuss information and we talk about all of the content for standard 18, instead of doing taskwork assignments, instead of doing charts and organizers and graphs and maps and all those things that we would normally do, we will discuss, use the guided notes, use the PowerPoints, and fill in this information over the important things from the standards. So to get our new content for the rest of the year, we'll use this EOC review. And then once we finish content and go back to recap everything from throughout the earlier parts of the year, we'll continue to use this document. So basically, this is going to be your best resource for a class for the next 6 to 7 weeks of school. That's our plan. Okay. Second assignment is practice questions. Again, I would say the easiest thing to do is download this to your computer so that way you have it. You can see that it is very lengthy. It is 42 pages. Guys, you do not have to download this document. If you want to simply number and answer the questions, you certainly can. The only thing that I will tell you is that it's 42 pages. There are a lot of questions. You will notice that they are not numbered. This could get problematic and confusing if you are trying to number them. I would just simply download this, have it, and then highlight the correct answers. But again, as we go through and as we talk about information, standard number 18, so we're going to have to go way into the future of this document here. Anyway, it's not going to cooperate. But as we go through and we get to standard number 18, we'll find it in our practice questions. We'll pull up the correct page. Here we go. And as we cover the content, as we fill in the EOC review, we'll also answer these multiple choice questions. So, EOC review packet will be your best friend. This will also be your best friend. These practice questions. These are also questions that have been released from a former EOC, so they are the type of language, the type of setup, the way that you'll see EOC questions asked when you take the EOC. Last thing that we have for you guys are some key terms. Now this is only 3 pages long. You don't have to download this. You could simply just look at this from time to time, but it is alphabetically organized with important key terms from U.S. history. Some of these, most of these we have talked about directly and you've defined on your own, but some of them we have not. And so any important key terms can be found here. And you can see they're alphabetized in order with a very short, brief definition. This may be beneficial to you as well, so don't forget about this resource. Okay, so those are the 3 EOC review materials. The EOC review, where you fill in information about the highlighted terms, topics, people, events, things, the practice questions, and the key terms. One more thing that I need to show you really quickly is just an update to the tools and resources page. As always, scroll down to the second section, click the blue button, tools and resources. We've been doing this for 6 months now. Okay, but at the very bottom you will see that I have a section, just updated it this morning, EOC and remainder of year resources. We have the guided notes for standard number 7. We have guided notes for, unit 7. We have the guided notes for unit number 8. So for the last remaining 5 standards, for all the information you need for the rest of the year, there are guided notes. As always, guys, you can use these. You can copy and paste them. We are giving you these resources to use freely. We also have the EOC review key terms here, again, just as another way to access and get to them. And then all of the PowerPoints for the remaining standards. Now, again, these are slightly off because the last time I taught U.S. history, the standards hadn't changed. I need to update things, but with the crazy year of COVID, it hasn't happened. So we're just going to have to do the best we can and work around it. So for the remainder of the year, we'll be using these resources, using those 3 things on the assignments page that I just showed you to recap, well, to finish the year first and foremost, to cover our new content, and also recap everything from the beginning of the first day of school when we talked about U.S. history until the end of Unit 6. So new content plus a recap, getting ready for the end of course test. All right. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next time in class. Take care until then.